Thanks everyone for joining me. This is Reporting and Budgeting Success with Phocas. I'm Alexa West. I'm an account executive here at Phocas, and I've been working hand in hand with the team at Central Data to help their customers love their data and love their reporting. Central Data currently implements Phocas as their primary BI solution for CloudSuite Distribution, SX.e, as well as some other Infor products as well. But my role here really is to help customers get the most out of their sales, operations, and financial data when working with the team at Central Data. So today I was hoping to, give everyone on the call here, whether you're new to Phocas or not, a great overview of who we are and what we do. What are some of our solutions? So this is planning and analytics. We're going to dive into a little bit of finance and budgeting as well, and then speak to our rebates tool. I'm hoping to give you a great demonstration of the analytics, budgeting, and finance tool as well. Maybe review a few customer success stories, and then some Q&A at the end as well. But got a lot planned. I'm going to try and make the most of your 45 minutes with us today. So if you don't know about Phocas, we're a third-party software company and we're purpose-built for distributors who want to get better insights into their data faster. So our company motto is to make people feel good about their data, and we aim to do that in every way. So giving you guys the tools that you need to run your business efficiently, and then also providing support and really listening to customer feedback and constantly improving our tools as well. Phocas at a glance. So we're not a new company. We're about 23 years old as a company with a global operation. So we started in Australia. We have a UK business as well as the US business as well. Definitely growing very much in the Infor space. We have about 160 customers, with that growing as well. And we do really pride ourselves on our customer retention rate. We have about 97% retention rate here in the US. So we really do like to be customer obsessed and make customers feel good about their data. So here I wanted to share, some of the ERPs that we work with. Obviously, Phocas is data agnostic, so we work with 200 plus ERPs, but we have a great solution, tried and true solution for Infor. A lot of CloudSuite customers and SX.e customers as well that haven't made that jump to CloudSuite, as well as Sightline, Visual, A+, Fax, and others as well. And then we do cover a lot of different areas of the business. So first we started with our analytics solution for sales and operation data. Then we went on to go ahead and help our customers with their financial statements and make that a little bit easier as well. And then from there, we went ahead and built out the budgeting and forecasting solution for both sales and financial data. So that would lay on top of either the analytics or financial statements tool, as well as rebates most recently with another great use case for Phocas and a lot of need within the area for managing rebates as well. But as far as who in your organization can benefit from a tool like Phocas, we really do cover a lot of areas. So whether you're the CEO and board, you can have those pre-built automated reports tailored to your needs, be able to go look for your information on a dashboard, or even go ahead and drill down into the underlying data to make some decisions. CFO and finance loves us. They spend less time collecting and formatting and cleansing that data, and being able to save a lot of time getting the information they need. And then sales and operations as well, really easily go ahead and look at their numbers, identify trends, and look for areas where they can improve and analyze their performance as well. And I do love this slide a lot. I think it's a great visual representation of what Phocas does. So some other solutions that you might have seen before, maybe they stop at number 3 where they're arranging that data, or maybe number 4 where they're presenting it back visually to you. Phocas really stands apart with its flexible and customizable analytics. So being able to go start with a hunch and follow that train of thought and drill down and let that data tell you the story, that's really where the Phocas tools shine, and I'm excited to show you a little bit about that today. And then here's another slide with just some of our core solutions. So obviously first, the analytics for sales and operations, financial statements we'll dive into a little bit as well today, budgeting and forecasting based off of that sales and operational data, applying different drivers, going ahead and creating these what if scenarios and running that against your forecast as well. And then also, I don't think we'll have time today for rebates, but if anyone has questions about that afterward, would love to kind of share what we've been doing in that space. Really great tool for rebates to go ahead and manage them in one central location automatically. So inputting those rules, inputting those tiers for both payable and receivable rebates, and allowing you to track it. We worked with a customer recently actually who they came to us looking to manage their rebates because they were 10 gallons away from an $80,000 rebate. So they just missed it. So being able to use the data within the tool, input those rebate rules, and then run some near miss analysis and go ahead and keep track of all that as well is really impactful for businesses. All right, and without further ado, we're good on time. Awesome. I'm going to hop into the demo portion here. I'm going to start on my homepage and give you a quick lay of the land with the tools. So the homepage of Phocas, you have databases, dashboards, and favorites, which you're going to get out of the box with a Phocas solution. So we have a packing list of set databases, dashboards, and favorites that you'll get delivered on your go live with Phocas. We want to give you a great starting point from which you can build and customize really easily, but go ahead and hit the ground running and giving you a full solution out of the box. Databases, this is really the core of the tool. We're taking that granular data from your Infor environment or another, CRM data or project management and quote data. We can pull that in all together into this Phocas environment. And this is truly where you're going to be doing all of your drill down analytics, building and customizing of reports, etc. Dashboards are pretty self-explanatory, but it's where you can add 30 or so different reports and be able to see where your business is at a glance. So really easy to understand dashboards, red, green, yellow, who's up, who's down, making it really consumable for that end user to go ahead and see at a glance, where are we? And then favorites as well are our version of like a saved report. I'm going to make the differentiation here that we're not a static report with favorites. So any one of these reports, they're saved here for easy access. You can also go ahead and subscribe to them. So Monday morning at 8 a.m., you want a specific, team to go ahead and get a specific report. You can set that up. But what's great is that you can continue asking it more questions. So maybe I'm looking at my cross-selling report for these different products. So you can see, who's the sales rep assigned to that. Maybe we can go ahead and create them a task to go ahead and give them a call. Or, here's our declining customers. What products are they buying? And being able to pivot and see in more detail some of these different reports. Alerts as well. So basically taking that favorite and putting in parameters to say, I want to be alerted where this number hits a certain level. So being able to input that information and get alerted and stay proactive with those reports as well. So I want to see, my cross-selling opportunities here. Here's my AR aging that's over 60 days plus due. Whatever that might be, you can go ahead and be proactive with those reports as well. And then we'll dive into budgets and forecasts a little bit later, but also easy access from that home screen. I'm going to start today with a quick overview of the dashboard, and I'm going to go ahead and do sales because that's the world that I live in. But really easily, red, green, yellow, seeing 30 or so different reports all put into one location. Also, important to note that we're a web-based application, so being able to take Phocas with you when you're on the go, on your mobile or your laptop, we're compatible for that, and you can see that on the go as well. But if I'm a sales manager, I want to see key sales statistics. What am I doing year to date? What's my margin? What's my month to date key sales metrics? what am I doing today? What are some ways that I can spoon feed my sales team opportunities? So maybe I have some declining customers that I want them to see different cross-selling opportunities that are out there with their customers. It's really easy to go ahead and expand the sale with a customer versus getting a new customer. Or maybe let's sell some of these dead stocked items and push them at a discount so we can make room in our warehouse for faster moving or profitable items. Declining products, maybe we want to go see these as well. But what's great about these dashboards is that they're filterable. So I have my sales reps, my locations, here's some different product classes, and my customers. So if I want to see my US business, I can focus on that. And all of the reports I've built out on this dashboard are going to update to my selection. So there's my US business. Maybe I want to see, a specific customer, this ASAP metallizing. Let's focus in on them. And let's see, they're doing really well. They're not declining. They don't have any cross-selling opportunities out there, but their margin looks a little bit low. Maybe we want to look into that. Very easy as well. I'm gonna hit reset really quickly. And just like an Etch-a-Sketch, the tool does reset all that data back to the start. But we have sales information, we have our product information, what are people buying? Maybe I want to focus in on my downlights business and focus there. All those reports will go ahead and reset. But maybe I want to see my top products down, or even bringing in different databases. So sales, inventory, and maybe some AR. So as I'm looking at my customers and I can see they have some outstanding value, maybe I can loop that into my conversation with them. We also have as well is like a Focus Light CRM, so we can track activities as well. So maybe on the sales page, I want to highlight a different customer, maybe find some cross-selling opportunities for them. Maybe they're declining and maybe I want to know the reason why. So going and seeing how many meetings that we've had with them, how many calls we've made. And then also a great way to kind of measure the selected customer versus the average customer. Like, let's say, let's find a good example. Let's do Worth Australia. We'll focus in on them. This selected customer, they're doing great on their value per invoice, average value per line invoice, but their margin's a little bit low. So even with our great customers, there's some areas that we can improve as well. I'm going to hit reset really quickly, go back up to the top here, and any one of these widgets, they're different visualized reports. With Focus, you can dive into the underlying data and go one level closer to the transaction level detail with the click of a button. So I went and I hit analyze, and now I'm in kind of the nitty gritty, what's really powerful about the Focus tool. So I dove into that report. I'm looking at my customer ship to dimension, and all of these different dimensions we're pulling from that invoice level detail. So different categories is a good way to think about it. And then up at the top here, we have our different filters. So different ways of looking at the data that we've selected. So my customer ship to, I'm looking at my total local value broken up by year dates. That's January and February. Maybe I want to see that $11 million by territory. Maybe I want to see it broken out by sales rep, maybe by product class. You can see that we're taking that data and just changing the way that we're looking at it. We can also go ahead and say, I want to see rolling 3 months. What have we been doing in the last 3 months? Or even, back to a rolling 12 months as well. So seeing that kind of break out. And then we can also go ahead and say, it's great what we're doing this year, but I want to see what we were doing compared to last year. We can go into variance mode. We can see that current rolling 12 versus our previous rolling 12 with that delta in between. So really quickly and easily pivoting and changing the way that I'm looking at my data. I can also go ahead and hit total and bring in some different measures as well. So all of these different data points we're pulling from that invoice level detail. So if I wanted to bring in my profit and margin as well, I can see my customers by my local value and the profit and margin, or even, going down to products and saying, I want to bring in quantity as well. So really high level example here of just kind of how easy it is to navigate and follow your train of thought with Phocas. Did want to pinpoint as well different export features. So if this is a report that I'm wanting to share, I can go ahead and bring it the old-fashioned way, bring it into Excel, print PDF, or even email it straight from the tool. Or I can choose really easily to add it to a dashboard or save it as that favorite report on my home screen. So different ways to consume that data. Since the theme of this webinar is on budgeting, I also wanted to show you something really great that we can do is called stream mode, where we can look at different data sets next to each other within the tool. So I'm going to hit stream mode, and I'm going to go back up to customer, excuse me, and then I'm going to clean up my measures really quick, just to clean up our view. Okay, so what I did was I'm taking my customers, here's my sales stream, local value, but I want to see it against a budget. So with Phocas, you can either go ahead and bring in that sales budget that you already built out in Excel. We have a template for that, so you can upload that straight into the tool really easily. Or you can save a whole lot of time and effort with the budgeting solution as well. So you can see we've brought in multiple forecasts. We can compare it against different budgets that we've saved as well. Another great use case for this stream mode is for purchasing. Really easy to go ahead and say, okay, what's my stock on hand, and what's in my open orders as well. So just for the sake of time, I'm going to pause here within the analytics tool. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ping Central Data or me. Happy to help and dive a little bit deeper into that. But I wanted to hop and pivot over into the financial statements tool. So you can see off the bat, it looks pretty similar to the environment that we're just in. We did that on purpose. We want all of our customers to go ahead and move seamlessly through the tool. So right now we're looking at our P&L statement, and we have these different data points and different ways to look at our data by category. So if I wanted to see it from the account level, here's all of my different accounts. If I wanted to see, by cost center, maybe by department, different ways of summarizing all of that transaction level detail that we're pulling into the tool. So I'm going to hit back up to my financial statement summary. We're in my P&L, but there's a few things I can do here to filter out and change my view. So we're bringing in our current, our previous rolling 12 months, and then we're also bringing in this forecast. So maybe I want to choose to do my budget, California budget, whatever budgets we've built out within the tool, we can bring in to see against our actuals. Or we can also go ahead and play with these columns and say, I want to take out my budgets. Really easy to point and click and add, maybe sparkle lines from someone with a sales background, and I'm a visual person. I love sparkle lines because I can go ahead and see that trend against that previous really quickly and easily. We can also go ahead and visualize it and add it to like an executive dashboard, right? So being able to see, here's our revenue from products, we're up 6.9% from last year. Really quickly and easily add it to a dashboard as well. But a lot of our customers are using the financial tool to go ahead and customize the reports that they're sending out to the team. So like if you wanted to go ahead and create a branch P&L, for example, for each of your branch managers, really easy to go ahead and do that. I don't have branches within my dimensions here, but your data might. But I'm going to go ahead and use country in my demo environment. I think I'm talking too much. My computer's thinking. There we go. Okay, so I'm picking up my different countries. I can focus in on, maybe this is branch 1 or my US business. Focus in on them. Go back up to my financial statement summary. And because Phocas is taking the granular data from Infor, it's not taking summary data. That means within a few seconds, I've created this slimmed down version just for my US branch, really, really quickly and easily. We can also go down here and say I want to see my different branches side by side for some comparative analysis. I can use what we have, the matrix feature. So I'm going to do a quick pivot table, create those rows into columns, and that's going to follow me up through my different clicks. So when I go up to my financial statement summary, I'm going to be able to see, you know, that that total P&L across my different branches as well. And let's say, you know, a lot of our customers bring Phocas into the boardroom as well, so they don't have to, you know, have one static report. You know, you have a lot of questions about it, and then you have to go and request another report and all get together and sit down again. It just wastes time, and it's much easier to go ahead and bring this tool in with you to go ahead and ask and answer questions there. So being able to drop down operating expenses, you know, this isn't great to look at. Maybe I want to go ahead and add some different subcategories or levels just to organize my accounts a little bit further. So we have a nesting feature where we can pull in and organize, let's say, by department. So now when I drop down the operating expenses, the tools categorize all those different accounts into our different departments as well. So really easy to add those nesting features. We could also go ahead and drag in like type, for example, and even further categorize that. So making it easy to go ahead and look and see what those operating expenses are. You know, let's drop down entertainment. Also, if we have any question about any one of these numbers that we're seeing, you can left click and let's go to current Australia. We're going to left click them and go all the way down to that transaction level detail, which you can also do in that analytics environment as well to get to those invoices. And we are taking in all that data, so also being able to add those different properties as well. So I want to bring in cost center, whatever that might be, hit apply, and then we can see all those transactions really easily. All right, and then same thing with this one as well. We were just in the world of the profit and loss statement, but we do have a few other statements as well. Profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flow, and trial balance all come out of the box. You can see that we've saved our customized versions here as well. So once you run that report, you never have to run it again. You can just go ahead and sit back and let that data refresh for you. But we also have a way that we can customize this, and I'll show you a little bit on, you know, how we would go ahead and manipulate that P&L statement to be what we want it to be. But really easy, drag and drop. I can add calculations, groupings, headers, and spacers here. Really easy to go ahead and make calculations as well. So here's A plus M divided by the days in period, A plus M. And then we can also have some different, you know, selections here. But this is all that you're going to have to do. You don't have to learn how to code or anything like that to go ahead and make edits to that P&L. And then from the account level, really easy to go ahead and categorize and map accounts as well. So maybe, you know, here's our different accounts. We want to add them to a specific category. And this is where you'd also add those subcategorizations to go ahead and make that analysis even easier as well. So if you have some new accounts that pop up, you would go into the tool, select it, and bring it into that right category as well. All right, so that is a high-level overview, nitty-gritty of the financial statements. Again, if you have any more questions on it, happy to dive a little bit deeper as well. I'm going to pop over, well, actually, I'm going to pop over into our budgeting tool, but you know, here within that financial statements, we can go ahead and bring in our different budgets. But here's how you'd actually go ahead and create them. Actually, I'm going to go right here. Budgets. All right, so all of my different budget workbooks are going to be published here for me. But to go ahead and create a new budget, I click this button, and right off the bat, you can choose to base it off of your financial data that you have within Phocas, or you can build an operational budget like a sales budget. I'm going to go ahead and do the world of finance today. Central data demo budget. You can see I practiced. But here we're pulling in our financial database. here's our profit and loss statement that we're going to build that off of, but you can build it off of any statement that you'd like. I'm the budget owner of this one, but I can change that, or I can add other budget administrators as well. So let's say I'm going to pick on all the A's here and bring them in to help me budget. I'm going to hit next. And then here's how we're deciding, what our budget's going to look like. I want to budget by month. So I want to see all those months breaking out for me from, here's our start date in February to January 2025. So I'm going to budget forward for 12 months. And then I can choose to bring in either zeros or a stream of actuals. Because that data is already in Phocas, all that historical data, I can bring in my actual P&L from last year offset by 12 months. So that means February 2023 to January 2024 is that 12-month period that I'm going to budget off of. Next, and then this is where I'm going to go ahead and decide some of those categories and subcategories and how granular I want to budget. So our highest level is category. If I wanted to go ahead and budget by, let's say, department, you can also budget by cost center, business unit, whatever that might be. And then you can add as many levels as you'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and hit save and finish because this looks good to me. And then what the tool is doing here is it's pulling in all of these actuals from last year. Here's our workflow section, and then here is our P&L laid out for us. Great thing about this is you're working off of one single version, right? So I'm going to drop down operating expenses again, and I'm picking on marketing today. But if I wanted my marketing manager to go ahead and contribute to this budget, I would select the lines that I want them to budget for. I can go ahead and assign this out really easily. So let's say, I'm gonna pick on Brenna. I've selected Brenna to go ahead and budget for these lines. What's great about this is it blocked those lines out for me. So they're no longer yellow, they're white. And what that's going to do is it's not allowing me to edit this any longer because it's in someone else's hands now. So Brenna on her end is going to get a task, and maybe I want to add a comment and say, please budget. She's going to get the task to budget, and she's going to make her edits and submit this back to me as the budget administrator. So with that, a few things, like I'll show you, let's say I want to budget for advertising. First thing I'm going to do is I like dropping down that comparison line. I like to see, what are those actuals as I'm making changes to this row. But here's that $245,000. Maybe I want to up this to $400,000. We can spread that evenly, or we can spread it based on those actuals. You can hit apply. So there's that number, and we've spread it based off of, that historical, trend that we're seeing here. Or we can go ahead and spread proportionally by row. So here's the displayed data. I want to up that by 10% next year. Hit apply. And that logic is going to go ahead and spread. And then maybe, something is going to happen in July. I'm going to go ahead and copy that July budget forward. Really easy to do. So lots of different features to go ahead and make edits to the budget. But what's also great is I can see that cell history. So any change that I made in that cell, like I'm the budget administrator, I want to see what Brenna Dwyer did to go ahead and budget for, these marketing items. But I can see, what our baseline was, who changed it, and when. And we can also go ahead and add comments as well. So if she knows that, I'm going to have a question about one of her changes, she can say, hey, this is what's going on. And just kind of making it easy to collaborate and work off of the same document without a lot of back and forth, without multiple versions floating around, etc. But another thing that I wanted to mention on the budgeting tool is this little plus sign here. Which is great because it can go ahead and allow us to do different drivers. So, maybe I want to go ahead and do some what if statements. If let's say I want to do a headcount driver, and what happens if I add on 5 new sales reps? How is that going to affect my budget or my forecast? Or maybe I'm expecting sales in a specific product category to increase. What would that do? Or what if the cost of materials for, say, aluminum goes up by 8%? What is that going to do? Or what impact would inflation have on this? Basically, being able to go ahead and add some of those what if scenarios to get really detailed in how you are, running your business. So let's see here. That is what I had to share on the budgeting tool. Let me find my slide deck for you. Pop back in. Okay, so I did want to pause here and see if anyone had some questions. Oops.
Hey, Alexa. Yeah, fantastic job. I've just been monitoring that questions panel. And again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to shoot them through. Let me see the first question we have here. It's actually a two-parter for you. How often would my data sync to Phocas, and what do I have to do to make that sync happen?
Well, typically when we start off our customers, we start them with an overnight refresh. We want to see, we want to make sure we're not taxing any POS system or anything like that. We want to see how that data is refreshing. It's very quick, 15 to 45 minutes typically, depending on the volume of data. But we do start there, and then we have customers that refresh up to hourly as well.
That's great. All right, next question I see here is, can Phocas send automatic alerts for declining customers, for slow moving stock, etc.?
Yes, so I think I covered this on that first page there, but you have an alert section. So if you run a declining customer report, for example, you can go ahead and set up the parameters to alert you when someone new kind of joins on that report, or if you have slow moving stock. Really easy to kind of put in those parameters and then stay proactive. The tool actually automatically emails you with the alert result when it detects data that fits that rule that you inputted. So yeah.
Great. Okay, next question here is, what if I still need spreadsheets to share with our exec team? That's what they prefer.
Lots of people still prefer Excel spreadsheets, so no problem. Any report that you run within Phocas, you can export into Excel, and it holds that formatting very well. And basically, you can do all that data manipulation and tweaking within the tool really easily, and then download it right into Excel and send it off from there.
All right, and then last question I see here is, how long does it take to implement the budgeting and forecasting tool?
Yeah, for any of our current Phocas customers that are on, maybe interested in the budgeting and forecasting tool, it is really easy and quick to turn on the budgeting tool within your environment. We already have that historical data in there. So really the team just turns it on, and then you can really quickly and easily load that in and start doing your budgeting. We do have some great training videos, and the team will work with you both from Central Data and Phocas's side to help you learn how to kind of maneuver that tool as well. But we have some great online training videos on our website that anyone can look up, as well as we do a lot of great webinars as well, bringing in some industry experts and hearing from their experience as well.
All right, yeah, that was everything that came through.
Awesome. I guess last slides here. This is kind of a brag slide, but we have different ways of seeing how we're driving results with Phocas. So biggest use case for us is we save our customers a lot of time, a lot of that manual reporting and manipulation within Excel. We're saving a lot of time communicating and distributing reports. Also reducing that ad hoc queue that IT might have. because we're giving the end user a tool that they're able to go ahead and use and navigate themselves, all those ad hoc requests kind of stop piling up, and we're empowering those users to go ahead and get the data that they need. And then 50% reduction in month-end close time. I think you guys could see with that financial tool, that's not just my demo environment. That's how quick your environment is going to be to go ahead and edit and change those reports. So very, very much saving our customers a lot of time, but also on that first point, increasing a lot of sales opportunities as well. It's great at finding those cross-selling opportunities. It's great at finding maybe some declining customers and other opportunities to grow your current customers as well. So that's our brag slide. And then, thank you everyone for joining me. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or to your rep at Central Data. We work very closely. So if there's anything that you want to dive a little bit deeper, learn more about, we're happy to set up some time with you. And then if you have any immediate questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We have a few minutes left. I wasn't expecting to end early because I was thinking I was going to go on and on too.